What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another predictions video. UFC Fight Night, Sao Paulo. We got Almeida versus Lewis. Supposed to be Almeida versus Blades. This was foreshadowing. That fight falling through a couple weeks ago was foreshadowing to how this card would end up being. Look at this shit, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it! Oh my god, this is falling apart much like UFC 294. Hopefully, some of the low-key good matchups on this card prevail and are entertaining. But yeah, this thing's just falling apart. I'm lucky that the Brazilian, crowd at least show up and support their own here. Hopefully they don't turn on their own here as well. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button, subscribe. We do live prediction videos every single week. We drop content on this channel every single week. We also do live streams on this channel every single week. So don't be afraid. Smash that like button, ring that bell for notification, and let's get right into it. Starting with the first fight on the card here, we have Cal Fernandez against Mark DeCasis. What a what a test. What a test as Bone Crusher Mark here. And by the way, if you guys watch the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins, a little bit of heat here. I mean, selling the fight is Marky Mark over here. So good on him. On a 2-fight losing streak, 16-7 up against an 8-1 guy coming off the regional, 4-1 in his last 5. He is the slight underdog at plus 160. Honestly, there's good value for him as the underdog here because he's a finishing machine. 8-1 on the regional, 4 KO TKO, 2 submission, 2 decisions, 2-1 in LFA, 6-0 in Shooto Brazil. Shooto Brazil is a good regional show. Beat a 21-5 guy, 6-0 head kick to the body first round. Okay, lost to a 7-0 guy, decision. He gassed hard in that fight, by the way. Looked okay in this fight. But first round finish, second round finish against a 6-1 and 9-1 guy. Like, his resume is awesome on the regional, and he is a very dangerous fighter. But again, going up against Bone Crusher as like your first fight in the UFC or your step up in competition, I mean, that's a big test. That's a big test. 16-7 is his record. 6 KO TKO, 1 submission. 9 decisions, 7-7 in the UFC, 5-0 in Bama. Shout out to Bama. What a fun promotion that was. Lost to Joel Alvarez, Michael Johnson. Look, I know why he's the favorite. He's arguably more well-rounded, and he's just more UFC. He's just used to the UFC at the end of the day, right? So I understand why he's the favorite, but I'm going with the underdog here. I'm going with Fernandez. Look, hopefully he's addressed his gas tank issue for, at least a little bit more than he has in year past, but he is such a finishing threat at plus 160. I think that's great value. He has submission ability. He has knockout power. He has great kicks. Again, in his loss, he gassed hard in the last fight where he went the distance. He didn't look good in the third, lost that round in my opinion. But back in 2021 was his last loss where his gas tank really looked like it was a problem. It's been 2 years. Let's hope he comes into this one in really good shape. He looks like he's in good shape anyways. He's a great prospect. Hard opponent to start this one, 100%. Look, Mark DeCasis is good. He ain't great. I think he'll be able to get past him, and I'm going with the underdog on this first one. What's up, guys? Hank the Tank's here. Activate A. Mikey P. Good to see you guys. Next, we go to a hell of a mismatch, and Mora, who missed weight by what, like 3.5, 4 pounds, given 30% of her purse as Montserrat Conejo Ruiz is going to take this one. Ruiz is going to take this one at straw weight. Do you guys see how much bigger this chick was? It was insane. Anyways, Ruiz 10-3 as a pro. She's 3-2 in her, or 2-3 in her last 5 fights. 30 years of age, plus 450. She's the heavy underdog. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. Trains at the Kings MMA. Not a bad gym there. 1-2 in the UFC, 1-1 in Invicta. Lost to Jacqueline Amron, who's honestly a really good prospect. Amanda Lemos, obviously, she's good. And by the way, we'll get back to the live chat here in a bit. I'm just going to fire through a few of these, and then we'll interact in the live chat for a little bit there. But the girls that she beat, UFC, The last chick she beat in Invicta, 10-3. She was a good prospect coming into the UFC, but hey, she got fed to the wolves, and no shame in that. But you look at the size difference. You look at this prospect who actually looked really good coming off Contender Series, minus 625. She didn't cut all the way. She didn't put her body through a weight cut, let's be honest. Undefeated, just way bigger in general, not to mention not having to go through that weight cut. 3 KO, TKO, 5 submissions, 1 decision. Won off Contender Series and fought in demo fight where she was 3-0. And yeah, pretty decent resume. I mean, nothing I can really falter for on the way up here. I mean, the odds are crazy, but then you look at them. Like, you look at the resumes, you're like, she fought Lemo. She fought some good competition. Then you see them standing next to each other, and you're like, oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm going with Eduardo Mura. I know she missed weight, but I think honestly that will probably help her out because she's so big. She probably cuts like a stupid amount to get to 115. She's better on the feet. She's a better grappler. Her opponent's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, Mura just seems like she's levels above. That's all I really have to say on that one. Hopefully, Ruiz, you survive a round or two. All right, up the card here. Angela Hill against Denise Gomez. Look, I watched the MMA Gurus breakdown as well. And he made some good points on Angela Hill. Like, she's used to fighting butch women who hit really hard and they cannot put her out. That last bout with Mackenzie Dern, though, that might have shaved time off the remainder of her career. Having said that, she looked great as she always does at weigh-ins, right? Like, doesn't look almost 40 years old, right? Always in tremendous shape. 15-13, not the best record, and 2-3 in her last 5 fights. She's at 38 years old, 10-13 in the UFC. So many UFC fights, it's crazy. 4-0 Invicta. Got absolutely like the shit beat out of her against Mackenzie Dern, which was crazy because Mackenzie Dern beat her on the feet. Beat Emily Ducati. Beat Lupita Godinez. I mean, didn't get absolutely mauled. Close fight with Amanda Lemos. Close fight with Tisha Torres. Everyone beats Ashley Yoder. Close fight against Michelle Watterson Gomez at that time. She's hard to put out. She's hard to finish. This 23-year-old Gomez, though, she hits like a freaking truck. But she's going to gas hard if she doesn't finish Hill in the first round. And Hill's hard to finish, right? On a 2-fight win streak, 8-2 in the UFC. 6 KO, TKO. There you can see a 0 submission, 2 decision. Like that is her game plan, is knock girls out. 2-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in Invicta, 1-0 in Contender Series. And there it is. First round knockout, second round ground and pound. Luma Lukbum, by the way, Angela Hill has a win over, and she lost unanimous decision to Luma Lukbum because after 2 rounds, Luma Lukbum still had a gas tank, and Gomes didn't. But does have some good wins on her resume as well. Man. I forget who the guru ended up picking. I think he might have even picked Angela Hill. I always root for Angela Hill. She's like, she's a beast. And the fact she's been fighting in the UFC for this long, it's awesome. And she at least tries to put on good performances. Like, she's not gonna just grapple and make a boring fight. She's gonna stand in the pocket and bang, and whether she gets beat up or not, she still will fight. So I have a lot of respect for Angela Hill, but I think Gomez hits freaking hard, man. She's 23 years old. I'm just gonna assume that she's continuing to become a better athlete and work on her gas tank, but I just do not bet on this fight. That's all I'm saying. And again, we'll get back to the live chat in your second, guys. Just don't bet on this fight. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going with Gomez. She's minus 135 again. I'm not betting on this one. Hill is a dog. She's hard to finish. And if this goes if this goes the distance, Hill's probably going to win a decision. I don't think it goes the distance. I think Gomez is the one to put Hill out. I think that last fight against Dern shaved some time off her career and maybe I don't want to say like broke her chin because she wasn't knocked out, but that one did some damage. Gomez has the better power and finishing ability, obviously, and Hill took a lot of damage, getting old. If she can survive the first, she might win a decision, but I'm going with Gomez. All right, I'm going to highlight one more fight here, then we'll get back to your guys' comments, okay? Victor Petrino against Modestas Bukauskas. Vitor Petrino undefeated, 9-0 as a pro. It's a light heavyweight bout here. Minus 245 favorite. Wow. Didn't realize he was that much of the favorite. Like I said, undefeated. 6 KO TKO is the knockout artist. 1 submission, 2 decisions. 2-0 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. So look great thus far. Beat Martin Prachnio, who Martin Prachnio is hard to put out. Kind of like Angela Hill. Honestly, she's Angela Hill, the light heavyweight. Seriously, he's hard to put out. He's a decent striker. And he ended up getting him in an arm triangle choke, but he couldn't beat him on the feet. He cracked him a ton, and Prachnio just kept moving forward. Prachnio is a fine fighter. He puts on a show, but he's nothing special. Turcal is god awful. Bellator Contender Series, that's a good win, and he has some great wins in UAE Warrior. But the 2 wins that he has in the UFC, I'm not impressed with Japa. You know what I mean? Look, he hits hard and look, he outstruck Prachnio. He's definitely a level above him, and we needed to see him go against someone of his level to find out if he was better or not. Again, I'm not impressed, but they're nothing special, right? They're nothing special. I think it's crazy that he's the favorite because I think Modestas Bukauskas is way better than his last 2 opponents. Honestly, I think he doesn't get enough credit. I think the hardcore MMA fans understand because he was peaking before Khalil Rountree destroyed his knee. He had to rehab for over a year, came back, won the Cage Warriors belt the second time, and then made his jump to the UFC because he was the Cage Warriors champion, came to the UFC, had an okay run, got his knee destroyed, went back to Cage Warriors, fought a can, and then one good guy. And then came back to the UFC and actually has gone on a run. 2-fight win streak in the UFC and 2-fight win streak in Cage Warriors here. 29 years of age. He looked like he's in tremendous shape for this one. 15-5. He's very well-rounded, and he's a good, he's probably in his prime right now, but he's already a veteran. He's been there, done that in a lot of situations. 9 KO TKO, 2 submissions, 4 decisions. 3-3 in the UFC, 7-1 in Cage Wars, and 3-1 in Ultimate Challenge MMA. He beat Zach Pauga. Now, I know unanimous decision, he couldn't finish him, but Pauga, was a heavyweight at one time, was really trying to outmuscle him and probably should have. And though he was on the defense for a lot of the grappling exchanges, he actually knew, again, veteran guy, he knew what he was doing. He was able to win that fight. He was able to do more damage, even being out grappled there. Tyson Pedro, short notice coming back to the UFC. Unbelievable. Tyson Pedro's dangerous, as we know. Great performance there. Beat a 5-1 guy coming up in Cage Wars. 4th round right hook, knocked him out to win the Cage Warriors championship again. Again, took some time off after this brutal knee from Khalil Rountree. And this fight, honestly, he should have won. All right. Oleg Jacek, rewatch the fight. I think Bukauskas should have won that one, personally. So yeah, I'm going with the Baltic Gladiator on this one. I think Vitor Petrino's gas tank isn't the greatest. Yeah, he has tremendous power, but I think Bukauskas is not going to be the easiest to hit. This isn't going to be Prachnio. This isn't going to be Turcali. I'm going with the underdog here. I got Bukauskas to win this one, plus 200 right now. Always liked him. Well-rounded, 4-fight win streak, comeback from a nasty injury. 2-time Cage Warriors champ. Schooled Tyson Pedro on short notice. Petrino almost lost to Turcali too, which is, I noted here, which is crazy because Turcali's so bad. He's awful. And yeah, just more experience by Bukauskas. And again, it even shows in their age, 26, 29 years old. So that's what I'm picking. All right, let's get back to the live chat here, guys, for a little bit. What's up, Dylan? Prachnio isn't good, but he beat Rountree. Petrino walked over Prachnio. Rountree beat Bukauskas. Yeah, MMA math makes no sense. Petrino beats Modestas through grappling and ground game. I think his counter wrestling and him and Bukauskas being able to still do damage, back to the cage, even from bottom, he's got some good scrambles. I think it's underrated, but we'll see. What's up, Pick'em MMA? Good to see you. Better to beat Oleg Sejchuk. Never betting that trash again. See, Mikey P, I disagree, man. I disagree. She was announcing fights 4 days later for Cage Warriors. Oh, Denise Gomez? think she has that bigger moments. He'll got that Artem Lobov record. But she doesn't get finished yet. She can always pull off an upset, no bet. Yeah, a terrible one to bet on, like I said. Moore had some medical problems, apparently. That's why she couldn't make the weight. Medical problems. Okay. Minus, yeah, for that one, horrible. Not going to bet. I was going to pick Ruiz, but after watching more footage, have to go for the favorite. Yeah, but did you even see them standing next to each other? It's insane. But yeah, exactly. Skip. I got the cases. Minus 150 before odds went to minus 200. Nice. That's good. Mark going to get back on a win column. I hope not. I like this guy off the regional. I do. I really do. But he's got good wrestling. That is true. And my boy coming off the regional, he gasses. Well, again, he's had a history of gassing easy. DeCasey's. That's how I say his name. Sorry, my apologies. Still has a little too much experience. No, that's true. I got Caio for now. I put more in a parlay minus 400. No Hill for Cage Warriors US. But can't disagree with anyone talking the dog shit here, though. I'm really high on Petrino. Petrino knocked out Bolado, who is in the UFC now. No, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think Bukauskas is good too. Like, this is going to be a good fight. I think I even wrote in my notes, like, great fight. Excited for this one. MMA math never lies. Appreciate you guys in the live chat, by the way. I just can't trust DeCasis again. Yeah, Fernandez debut, so I'm not confident on him at all. But he trained for this one. Like, he didn't take this one on short notice, did he? I can't keep track with all the guys taking short notice fights on this card because this card's an absolute mess. Thanks, you guys, for the comments. Keep them coming, and I'll get back to them in a sec. Let's move up the card to Elizeu Zaleski against Rinat Fakhretdinov. I love Zaleski, by the way. I know he's getting up there in age. He's 36 now, but fuck, he's so much fun to watch. And Fakhretdinov is no slouch either. Really good wrestler, as we know. Sometimes makes the fights boring up against the cage, but he's also got some nasty kicks and some kicks to the body in particular. 24-7 for Zaleski, plus 280 underdog here. Won his last 2 fights. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He's a 24-7. 14 KO TKO, 3 submissions, 7 decision. Unbelievable. 10-3 in the UFC. That's an awesome record in the UFC. 4-1 in Jungle Fight. He beat Abubakar Nurmagomedov, who is like the runt of the Nurmagomedovs, but is a Nurmagomedov nonetheless. Beat Benoit Saint-Denis. However, Benoit Saint-Denis did take that fight on short notice. Lost to Salikov. Beat Kuchenko. Lost to Li Jingliang. Beat Melinder. Beat Sean Strickland back in 2018. Like, he's got some great wins on his resume, man. And he is so fun to watch. He's so fun to watch. He's getting up there in age, and he's got a lot of miles, right? Like, he's been in some really big fights. Rinat Fakhretdinov, what a record, by the way. On a 20-fight win streak right now, minus 370, 32 years of age, so in his prime. Out of Moscow. Oh my goodness, 20-fight win streak, 22-2. 11 KO TKO, 7 submissions, 4 decisions. 3-0 in the UFC, 3-0 in Federation of MMA Samara, and 3-0 in Legacy of Sparta Fighting Championship. Let's see how many cans he crushed since he came to the UFC. He beat Kevin Lee, like, fair enough. He beat Brian Battle, and that was an impressive one. Brian Battle's no joke. Andreas Michailidis. I don't know how to pronounce. This guy's probably Greek, right? Michailidis. 13-5. Not bad. Fought in UAE Warriors. Beat a 12-5 or 12-5 guy. Beat 14-2. Honestly, his record's not the worst. Like, obviously, he's gonna be fighting some cans in these, like, Battle of Volga, whatever the fuck this promotion is. But he is the real deal. There's some decent fighters mixed in there. But his record, again, 20-fight win streak. Take that with a grain of salt, as we see here. As look at all these guys that he's fought on the way up. But that doesn't take away from when he fought some decent guys. He absolutely destroyed them and he looks damn good in the UFC. Every time I look at his record, every time I watch some of his old fights, like, don't get me wrong, there's some younger guys that he's fought, like some 3-1 guys who are damn good and like coming from striking disciplines, and he schooled them. So it's like, okay, like you are good. And in the UFC, he schooled some guys who are good as well. But Zaleski is just proven against better guys, man. Fakhretdinov is good, man. Who am I picking for this one? This is the card of the underdogs. I'm going to get cooked, or I'm going to look like a fucking genius after this one. I'm going with Zaleski. That's my pick. I think Zaleski can beat him. I really do. This is an awesome fight. This is going to be such a good fight. This is going to be such a good fight, guys. Fakhretdinov is younger. He's well-rounded. Zaleski's proven, and I think like he hasn't stepped out of his like prime just yet. Like this might be the last fight, you know what I mean? Before we start to see the decline. I'm a believer. What is it? Plus 280. I'm taking it. I'm in BC. I can bet in this province. Let's go, baby. I'm taking it. I think he's a good underdog at these odds, man. I really do. I know Fakhretdinov, and Fakhretdinov schools Zaleski here. He's the real deal. Because the Kevin Lee, you know, at this stage of Kevin Lee's career, whatever. But the Brian battle one impressed me. It really did. Again, I'll get back to your guys' comments here in a sec. I'm going to fire through a few more of these. Elvis Brener against Kainon Kruschewsky. Kruschewsky taking this fight on short notice. I think he took the fight officially on Monday. So there's 1 week's notice, as again, this card is falling apart left, right, and center. Some weight misses as well. But Elvis Brener, I believe, yeah, he's at a shooter box. Diego Lima. He trains with Charles Oliveira, Nascimento, that whole team. 15-3 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's a pretty big favorite at -210. What's crazy is the guy taking this fight on 1 week's notice. Fought a Contender Series. I don't think he got a contract off his win off Contender Series, but he's like on the UFC's list of guys to call up if needed. So it took this fight 1 week's notice, 6 days to be exact. The 26-year-old out of Sao Paulo. This event is being held in Sao Paulo, so a great event for Elvis Brener. I thought Elvis Brener was going to win anyways against his last opponent. So I'm picking him to win. I'll say it right now. I'm picking him to win here, but let's take a look at him. Absolute savage fighter, and the weigh-ins were savage as well. They were talking, yapping back and forth with each other. 2 KO, TKO, 11 submission, 2 decisions, 2-0 in the UFC, 6-0 in Mr. Cage MMA Championship, and 3-0 in Amazon Talent. Great win here against Kruschewsky. He beat Turgurov as well. Lost to Gabriel Santos on the regional, but Gabriel Santos is a motherfucker. 6-3 fight. I mean, he's got a good resume as he's built it up. He's been in a lot of fights, but he's beaten some damn good opponents. 7-0 early. 8-2, 5-2, 6-3. And he's on a good run now. Like I said, 4-1 in his last 5. Looking at the 15-1 Kainon Kruschewsky, 32 years old, also out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is cool. Both these guys will be fighting in front of their home crowd here. 4 KO TKO, 9 submissions, 2 decisions. So he's very well rounded. 1-0 in the LFA, 1-0 off Contender Series. Beat a 7-2 guy. Wait, did he not get a contract off this? He must have got a contract then. I read or heard something earlier today that he was signed this week and he didn't get a contract. I guess we'll check back in the live chat here in a sec. So maybe I'm just getting mixed up. But regardless, got a rear naked choke in the first round off Contender Series. We beat a 7-2 guy. Jungle Fight Fighter is one. I like Jungle Fight. I think Jungle Fight's a great regional scene. It's a savage Brazilian regional promotion. 5-1 guy he beat, 10-5, 8-3 in his last few fights. He fought Damien Lapalou in Aris. That was overturned to a no contest. His resume is pretty good too. I'm just nervous. At +175, those are good odds. That's why it's so close, because he's good. But I understand why he's the underdog here, just because he even said that he was worried about his weight because he's actually been focusing on putting more mass on. So he's been eating and like lifting like crazy. And he was worried about his weight because he hasn't been in like that type of shape, like still training, but not that type of shape. He made weight, and or I think it was a catch weight. Yeah, so he made the catch weight. What was the catch weight by the 165? Yeah, he made the catch weight of 165, which great. Good for him. The fight is saved. Brener's still going to get paid. But I don't think this is the fight where we're going to, we really can judge him. Win or lose. Win or lose. I do think Brener's going to win this one, like I said, but he's not a bad fighter. He's not a bad fighter, Kruschewsky, and it's going to be interesting. If he goes the distance, it's going to be like, okay, excited to see who he fights next, because that'll be really impressive. But if he loses in like a sluggish fashion, if it goes the distance or like 2 rounds, or if he ggets knocked out early or submitted, look, I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to blame him, especially given the circumstances that he was in. And like, I'm not saying bad circumstances, just like, he made the weight, so great. He's clearly good enough to go, but training to put on mass, and then being called for fight on short notice doesn't play in your favor. Okay, we'll get back to the comments after this one, okay? Rodolfo Vieira, the jiu-jitsu specialist, against Armen Petrosyan, a very good kickboxer, the Armenian kickboxer. Close odds for this one, as it should be, -110. Oh, this one's a pick'em. This one's a pick'em. All right, this one's gonna be fun. Rodolfo Vieira, the black belt hunter, 9-2 as a pro, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, but inconsistent. Wins 1, loses 1, wins 1. He's out of Rio de Janeiro, 34 years of age. We all know how good he is in jiu-jitsu, right? 9-2 as a pro, 4-2 in the UFC, and he's fought some guys in Russia too, which is, fighting in ACB and ACA, it's no joke. 1 KO, 2 KO, 8 submissions, 0 decisions. So he finishes all his opponents. He beat freaking Cody Brundage, who hasn't, right? Lost Chris Curtis, had no striking in that one. Beat Dustin Stoltzfus. Lost Anthony Hernandez. I'm going to say he doesn't have that many good wins on his resume. Look, he has some good wins in ACA and ACB, but good wins on his resume in the UFC, okay? Look at Armen Petrosyan, who's getting better and better with his takedown defense and, well, counter grappling. 8-2 as a pro in MMA, again, a decorated kickboxer. 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Went on 2-fight win streak, Contender Series UFC, lost 1, and has won 2 more since. 33 years of age, just entering his prime. 5 KO, TKO, 0 submissions, 3 decisions. 3-1 in the UFC and 1 fight in Contender Series. Dominant win against a really good prospect coming out of Cage Warriors, Christian Leroy Duncan, who actually had Christian Leroy Duncan winning that fight. I picked Christian Leroy Duncan to win that fight, and I was very impressed with Armen Petrosyan's performance. Win over AJ Dobson. Lost to Caio Borralho, who's also on this card, and Caio Borralho, he's solid, man. He's a very, I don't even want to call him a prospect anymore. He potentially could be a contender. Beat RoboCop in a great back and forth bout. Kolev 10-0 on Contender Series. I mean, just look at their resumes. He looks very, very good, and he's beaten better guys in the UFC. Am I scared of the takedowns? Yeah, but again, it's that grappler's takedown, not necessarily blasting the single legs or double legs. And Armen Petrosyan's able to do damage off his back and on up against the cage as well. We've seen it time in and time again. He's really good at mixing up the knees and elbows. I have Armen Petrosyan winning this one. That's my pick. I think he does well defending submissions. He's still good at getting strikes. Like I said, strikes off and damage even up against the cage and in, grappler friendly positions. Good cardio. Nasty kickboxer. His low kicks will probably even take away a lot of that extra jump that Rodolfo will have early. Rodolfo's good in MMA, not great. His wins in the UFC have not been great, or have not been good, I should say, at all. Not against good opponents, but he did tear it up in Russia. Where he probably could roid it up like he was able to do in grappling. What? Anyways, let's get back to the comments here before we end this card. What's up, Tarzan? Armen massively outstruck Caio in their fight. They gave it to him for control time. Caio over Abus via boring decision. I think via decision Vieira is tough. I got Petrosyan as well. Feel Vieira should win, but no way I'm betting against Petrosyan for a parlay. Elves KO 2 or 3 round. Now that I've given my reason for Elizeu, I'm taking Renat by unanimous decision over Elizeu. Attaboy. Kanon looked soft as fuck on stage. He did. Brener's ground fight looked good. Yep. Dana was high on him. He did sub his opponent. Beating Benoit is good, but Benoit is a lightweight. Yeah, and he took that fight on short notice. I think he wins decision. I'm looking forward to the Abbas and Armen fights. Let's go. What's up, Red Reaper? Thank you so much for dropping by. Appreciate it. Guys, don't forget to like this video as well. I got Renat M minus 275, but odds now are insane. Elizeu beat a streaking Benoit Saint Denis, age like fine wine. In hindsight, I want to bet Zaleski, but my brain says Russian, so I went with Renat. I hope Zaleski, derails. Like, how cool would that be? Like, beat a guy who's on a 25 win streak. I just can't go against Renat right now. No, he's looked too good in the UFC. Can't sleep either. Yeah, I'm on Pacific time right now, so it's not too late. It's good to see you, buddy. Sorry I missed your comment right when you commented there. Good dog pick. It's a fight, and Zaleski's a huge dog. Yeah, a huge dog there. Renat threw Brian Battle around. I know, dude. And that's what impressed me. Abubakar versus Zaleski was not the greatest fight. But Zaleski still beat him. That's the thing. Like, Zaleski can lose and beat guys with Ovs and Evs at the end of their name. Do you not remember the spinning heel kick on Strickland? Dude, it was an amazing spinning heel kick on Strickland. I think Renat should dominate with the grappling, but Zaleski's underrated even at 36. Yeah, I don't think he's past. Like, I don't think he's on the decline yet, but we'll see. We'll see. But he was finished by the Leech. I do like Li Jingliang. I think he's a very good, like, 15 to 13 ranked guy. He's like, I think he's better than Neil Magny as far as being a gatekeeper. That was kind of fluky, but good setups by him. Absolutely. Fabricio killed my parlay. It's okay. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm taking everything to the bookies. Vieira's not an MMA fighter. The stats for Armen versus Caio are crazy. I have to check that out again. Oh, nice, dude. All right, let's continue up the card here. And speaking of Kai Borralho against Abus Magomedov. And Abus Magomedov had a ton of success in the PFL, but Kai Borralho, despite Magomedov being massive, Borralho's massive as well, dude. He's like, what, 6'1", 6'2"? He's the huge favorite of minus 300. Training out of Extreme Couture. He's got a great camp. He's got great coaches. He's got great training partners. 14-1 as a pro. He's on a massive win streak right now, fighting in front of his home crowd of Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is awesome. 4 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 6 decisions. He's very well rounded. 4-0 in the UFC, 2-0 in Contender Series. Beat Oleg Jacek in his last fight. Beat Muradov. Beat Petrosyan, but again, controversially. Beat Omar Gaziev, so he's beaten some Ovs and Evs. Beat Jesse Muro in Contender Series, and he also beat Aaron Jeffrey, where he didn't get a contract on that one. Aaron Jeffrey, do not out in Bellator. Shout out to Aaron Jeffrey, Canadian. He's just gotten better and better in all his UFC fights. And Abus Magomedov gassed hard in his last fight, ladies and gentlemen, against Sean Strickland. 25-5 as a pro. He's a plus 240 underdog. He's the German-Russian, as Sean Strickland, the champion, says. 3-2 in his last 5 fights. 14 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 5 decisions. So he is dangerous. He does have knockout power. 3-1-1 in the PFL, 1-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in KSW. Again, lost to Sean Strickland, second round where he gassed hard. Beat Dustin Stoltzfus in the UFC. He, knocked him out early, which, was impressive, but Dustin Stoltzfus sucks. Beat 12-0 guy in KSW. Guillotine choke in the second round. Impressive. Before then, beat a guy making their debut. Lost to Luis Taylor. Beat Sabadu C. That's a great win. Beat Goncalves. That's a good win. So, look, he's got some good wins. He's dangerous, but I think he relies too much on his finishing ability. I think he relies too much on beating guys who are not as good as him, not as strong as him early, and just overpowering them. And he's not going to be able to do that to a well-rounded Kai Borralho who's just continuing to get better and better, who I think is more well-rounded. I think he has better grappling, better wrestling, better jiu-jitsu, better finishing ability, or at least matches that of Abus Magomedov, because I'm not sold on it because he's finishing lesser opponents for the most part. Again, Sabado you see good, but yeah, I'm super high on Kai Borralho. And again, Abus Magomedov isn't showing me that he's getting better and better. He's showing me that he's plateauing or maybe even getting worse in his last few fights. Not a good gas tank. No dog in him. That's for Magomedov. Borralho's dangerous. Good, like I said, good everywhere. Big, strong for the division as well. Yeah, we're going with the Brazilian on this one. All right, moving up the card. Featured fight of the night, Rodrigo Nascimento against Dontel Mays. Dontel Mays is not good. Okay, I could just end it right there. Not good. 10-1 for Rodrigo Nascimento. He's the pretty big favorite at minus 230 years of age. 2 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 2 decisions. He fights out of American Top Team, great gym, 3-1-1 in the UFC. 1-0 of Contender Series. Beat Latifi, Tanner Boser. Lost to Chris Dawkins, which oof, that's no good. Beat Dontel Mays before, so this is the rematch. I mean, like, he's not the heavyweights in the UFC suck right now. Like, the division is so weak, but he's okay. You know, he's okay. He's better than Dontel Mays. He's beat him before. Dontel Mays, 31 years of age. I mean, yep, he fights like he looks there, stoned as fuck. Yeah, he got a win over Andrei Arlovsky. Big fucking whoop, dude. This is 2023. Are you kidding me? 10-5. You know, he's all right, I guess. He's supposed to be a good boxer to Jackson and Wink. 4 KO, TKO, 3 submission, 5 decisions. Lost via disqualification, 3-1 in the UFC, 2-1. He's a 3 times on Contender Series. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Get this guy out of here. Big whoop. You beat Andrei Arlovsky at this point in your career. Lost Augusto Sakai, dude. Like, cut him. You should have cut him after that. Hamdi beat him, but then it was a no contest because, funny enough, Hamdi, who gas hard in the third, tested positive for PEDs. Yeah, I just am. He's not good. He's not good. He really isn't. What do I have in my notes? Dontel Mays, so bad, awful. Yeah, Nascimento has way better wins, way better showing, way better grappling for heavyweight, way better boxing, and way better dirty boxing. Easy money, Rodrigo Nascimento. We'll just finish the card here, then we'll get back to your guys' comments. Gabriel Bonfim, at least we get one of the Bonfim brothers on this. Missed weight. Against Nicolas Dalby, which, by the way, Matt Frivola doing his best Nicolas Dalby impression right now. Dalby's a big welterweight. Like, he's a jacked welterweight. Bonfim's bigger. How crazy is that? 15-0, he's undefeated. The better of the two Bonfims, in my opinion. 15-0, undefeated. Minus 650, huge favorite. Fighting in front of his crowd in Brazil. 26 years of age. I was going to say home crowd, but he's not from Sao Paulo. 26 years of age. Crafty, well-rounded fighter, ladies and gentlemen, and he is dangerous. You slip up once, Bonfim will put you out. He will. He's that dangerous. 3 KO, TKO, 12 submissions, 0 decisions, 2-0 in the LFA, 2-0 in UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. Destroyed Trevin Giles, destroyed Munir Lazez, destroyed Trey Waters. Okay? He loves the Darce choke. He loves the Von Flue. He loves the rear naked choke. I mean, he's so dangerous, dude. He's so freaking dangerous. It's crazy. It's crazy. 12 submissions, man. Nicolas Dalby is a damn good striker. Don't get me wrong. He's a damn good striker. Good kickboxer, if I'm not mistaken. 38 years of age. He's in tremendous shape for 38 years of age. But yeah, 12 years the elder of Gabriel Bonfim as well. The Danish Dynamite. Looked good in his last fight. Don't get me wrong. 22-4-1. He has a good MMA record, all things considered. He's been doing it for a while, though, guys. He's been doing it for a while. 6 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 12 decisions. Like, this isn't going the distance with Bonfim, dude. 6-3, 1-1 in the UFC. He's quite literally done it all. 5-1-1 in Cage Warriors. respectable 6-0 in Fighter Gala. He beat Muslim Salikov in his last fight. Look, great win. Beat Warley Alves, good win. Beat Claudio Silva, lost to Tim Means. Tim Means is still ripping it up, though. So honestly, beat Daniel Rodriguez. His last few fights, like, that's pretty good, man. I know it's a split decision to Warley Alves, but like, these are all respectable names. There's a reason the odds are where they are. I mean, minus 650 might be a little bit crazy against a guy who can keep the fight going the distance, who's been pretty durable throughout his career. I think Bonfim will find a way to take him to the ground and find a way to finish him for sure. And he's the better of the two Bonfims. He's so dangerous. Dalby isn't bad. Bonfim's last 2 wins are awesome. He's bigger, more tools, younger. And Dalby's good at squeezing out wins. He's a good point distance fighter. He knows how to win MMA fights. He knows how to score well. Bonfim's not going to give him any room to do that. All right, main event of the evening, Jailton Almeida against Derrick Lewis. You guys know what I'm going to say here. Jailton Almeida, for me, is wasting his time in the heavyweight division. He's padding his record in the heavyweight division. He knows the heavyweight division is a joke right now in the UFC, and I'm not calling the Black Beast a joke. I love the Black Beast. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's one of the guys I root for the most. This is not a good matchup for him, and he's taking this fight on short notice. And he was just recently dealing with some legal issues as he was arrested due to a ton of speeding charges there. Jailton Almeida is an absolute beast. Weighs in around 230 as a heavyweight. He is massive, and he's been basically ragdolling fat heavyweights, okay? Non-athletic heavyweights. And I'm not going to say that Derrick Lewis is a fat heavyweight. He's kind of somewhere in between. He's got that like muscle fat and kind of, in a 4-pack. A 4-pack these days is allowing him to do like flying knees. But you know what I mean. Like, this guy's been throwing around the Parker Porters of the world, okay? I'm not impressed with your performance. I want to see if he actually has hands. I want to see him test himself against light heavyweights who actually can strike, who actually can show us if he's for real. Is it impressive these ragdolling heavyweights and getting like hardly hit at all? Sure, but it's not like he's Khamzat Chimaev who is fighting legit guys, okay? Welterweights at the time. Good middleweights. It's not even close to the same. So I'm not sold on him. Does he have the tools? Is he a specimen? Absolutely. I wanted to see him against a Curtis Blade because there's very few heavyweights that we really can see if he's got, if he's for real. And you can't just give him a Tom Aspinall or Pavlovich because he hasn't earned those shots. I get it. That's what's so frustrating about the heavyweight division right now. I want to see him at light heavyweight, but regardless, props to Derrick Lewis taking this on short notice, given everything that's going on. Well, I guess everything happened after, but I think he took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. I wanted to see what Jailton Almeida would be able to do against Curtis Blades. That's a matchup I really wanted to see, but regardless, Jailton Almeida 19-2, minus 500. He's the heavy favorite and for good reason. 5-0 in the UFC, 1-0 Contender Series. Beat Rosenstrike, who's a heavyweight kickboxer, which, whatever. I'll give him credit for that one. Rosenstrike's no joke, but that speaks for it. Beat Shamil, whatever. Turkali sucks. Parker Porter. Look, we root for him, but come on. Danilo Marquez. And Nezardinov, he was good. All right, well, I'll give him that. Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast, 38 years of age, signed a new UFC deal, baby. Let's go. 27-11. I believe still holds the record for most knockouts in the promotion. 2-3 in his last 5, though. Not looking good for Derrick Lewis. However, his last fight was amazing. Flying knee, which knocked down Rogério de Lima. And then he won via ground and pound, which was amazing. 18-9 UFC. Yeah, 22 knockouts, 1 submission, 4 decisions. Unbelievable. And this fight was amazing. This fight was absolutely amazing. I made a video about it. You guys can check it out on the channel. What do I have in my notes here? I'm picking Jailton Almeida to win, but I'll be rooting for Derrick Lewis, baby. I love Derrick Lewis. Like I said, holds a special place in my heart. I don't think Jailton Almeida is going to blast double legs like a Curtis Blades. I think he's going to kind of, like I mentioned Chimaev earlier, I do think he's going to be able to grab like the torso of a Derrick Lewis and rip him to the ground, get him close, get some underhooks on him on the cage and just rip him to the ground. We've seen in the past Derrick Lewis take elbows in the clinch and that be able to hurt him. So we'll see how the clinch fighting goes for Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis says, hey, I'm the baddest purple belt in Houston. I'm sure you are, but Jailton Almeida has some wicked grappling. So I do think if he rips him to the ground, yeah, Derrick Lewis is that one heavyweight who's known for getting back up to his feet. But I think the pressure and the pace that Jailton Almeida is going to put on him early, especially with Derrick Lewis not having a full camp, is going to be too much for him. I think like with a full camp, Derrick Lewis probably gets back up to his feet a couple times in this matchup, but I don't think he's going to. I really don't think he's even going to get back up to his feet once if Jailton Almeida rips him to the ground. Again, if Jailton Almeida goes for a double or single leg, there is 100% a chance that Derrick Lewis can crack him because he's done it before. It used to be his signature against some of the bigger heavyweight wrestlers. And if Jailton Almeida wants to test his hands with him, well, good luck. Good luck. And I mean, imagine if Jailton Almeida just did that and said, fuck it. Everyone keeps saying I'm a wrestler. Let's go, Derrick Lewis. That would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. That would be my dream. That's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen. Submission or arm triangle choke is what I think. I think he's going to get him in arm triangle choke. I'm rooting for Lewis to catch him. I always root for the Black Beast, but I think Jailton Almeida is going to take this one, and that is my pick. Before I give my degenerate parlay and my safe parlay of the pick, let's get back to the live chat. Dalby is beyond durable, and he has way more of a pedigree against a top talent than casuals. No, but it doesn't matter. Bonfim is just that much above whoever you list from Dalby's record. Absolutely. And again, like I like Dalby. I really do. If Dontel Mize wins, he'll be top 15. It's so sad. Dontel Mize is the easiest roster trim in the promotion besides Zara Farm. That is such a good point. I forgot there was a card tomorrow. People don't know how legit Nicolas Dalby is. Really interesting to see if Bonfim can walk through him like he did Giles. I'm very interested to see that as well. Can't believe Ariel. I know, dude. Almeida and Ngannou, let's see it. No, Phil Duffree. What's up, Son MMA? Thank you. I am visiting my sister, mom, and some friends here in Canada. Dalby never been finished. Going to be interesting to see if he goes a distance. Oh, Dylan, I missed your dono. Thank you so much for the $5 donation, dude. I'm so sorry for missing that, man. Thank you so much, buddy. Base Louis Taylor over Abus. Also, Nascimento already beat Mize. Bonfim finished in round 1, and Almeida wins by non-competitive submission in round 1 or 2. Dude, Dylan, thank you so much for the donation, brother. You did not have to do that. I appreciate it. $5 too. Are you kidding me? I'm going to buy some Tim Hortons breakfast tomorrow morning, baby. Let's go. Thank you so much, Dylan. Seriously, brother. Thank you so much for joining the One Championship stream. Thank you so much for joining this stream as well, even though it's not as interactive in this one as we fly through some my picks and predictions. Really appreciate the support, and I hope to see you, if not throughout all the streams tomorrow, a few of them as well. Rising in the morning, Glory, and then UFC. Thank you, buddy. Mays was the same exact height as Nascimento and Orlovsky in their face-offs, yet listed 4-inch taller on Tapology. 6'6", no way he's 6'6". Yeah, I don't think he's 6'6" as well. I can't believe that. Thank you, Dylan. Wow. Armen could do well against Vieira. It's not too bad to give Kyle the win, but it's interesting for Armen's fight with Rodolfo. That is a good point because Armen just always is able to land shots. The glasses and neck tat on Kyle's top 2 juxtaposition. I know, right? Carlos the Library, Paulo Costa. That is true. Jailton got KO'd in flat in 15 seconds in his one loss. I said on the video of that, till the day he gets a matchup, I think he will lose so that I can drop it and pretend to be prophetic. Dude, well, if Derrick Lewis cracks him, then that is a perfect time for that video. I owed you. Well, still, buddy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, dude. Are you kidding me? Dylan, man. Jailton should sub Lewis before the end of the second round. Donation reaction. So nice. I did it twice. Dude, thank you. Seriously. Wow. I cannot believe it. Because this card's going to be absolute ass, but this prediction video has been absolutely fire. Oh my goodness. You guys are really liking the library. Speaking of library and carbohydrate, you guys are digging the librarian setup here. I'm glad my mom also had a little bonsai tree. Not even a little, I don't even know what this is. Succulent. Kicking it here. Thank you so much, Dylan. Wow. I cannot believe it. Thank you so much. I'm literally going to be eating tomorrow on your dime. I might even switch it to a McDonald's breakfast because, you know, as much as Tim Hortons is Canadian as fuck, it sucks compared to McDonald's breakfast. And coming back from the States, I realized they ain't no Quick Trip here. They ain't no Taco Bell breakfast. We got to go with the McDonald's breakfast. Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate you, buddy. Wow. $10 donation here today. And you've been supporting the channel like no other. Thank you so much. I hope to see you tomorrow. Not just because you donated, but because you're always super active in the live chat as well, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dylan, I hope you make some money tomorrow on either our degenerate or safe parlay of the week, brought to you by our friend Volcan. Again, I do not recommend betting on the degenerate parlay of the week, but this is the degenerate moneyline parlay of the week. You ready, guys? You ready for it? I wish I had my sound board because I'd have a drum roll right now. Number 1, Monsterrat Ruiz. Number 2, Kenan Kruschewsky. And number 3, the Black Beast himself, Derrick Lewis. That is the degenerate 3-fighter moneyline parlay of the week. As we go to the safe parlay of the week, we're going, drumroll please, Borralho, Elves, Brener, and the one that might break it, okay? The one that might break it, Eduardo Moura. Maybe her health complications, as you guys highlight in the chat, are her demise, but I really don't think so. So again, Borralho, Brener, Moura, that is a safe parlay of the week. The degenerate parlay of the week, Ruiz, Kruschewsky, and Derrick Lewis. Again, shout out to Dylan for the double dono here. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'll split the pot with you if my Bonfim early Cannon Borralho Nascimento parlay hits. Let's go, baby. I will shotgun a beer live if that hits, buddy. Maybe even 2. Jailton came in 30 pounds lighter. Well, he always comes in at like 230-ish, right? He could be a light heavyweight, and he should be a light heavyweight. King James, thank you for watching the last video on the channel as well, buddy. All right, guys, we streamed like 5 hours before this. We're almost an hour into this. We're going to hang up the gloves here tonight. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern time, we have Ryzen, baby. MMA-wise, great to see you, buddy. He's my pick. He's my pick as well. I picked him as well, buddy. I picked him as well. MMA-wise, great to see you, my man. Hope to see you tomorrow. Heading to bed. Thanks for the pick. See you all tomorrow. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you so much. Peace out, guys. MMA-wise, great to see you guys. Go check out his channel. And Dylan, again, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for the donations. Let's go, baby. Ryzen Glory UFC. Back to back to back. We're starting at 6 a.m., brother. We're starting at 6 a.m. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us for One Championship as well. See you tomorrow bright and early for Ryzen, Glory, and UFC. Peace.